interesting issues I want us to discuss. You know how to join this conversation on facebook.com/joynews-on-TV and on Twitter is at Joy News on TV. Let's start with the President Akufo-Addo, who has sent a strong warning to anyone who will attempt to smuggle to neighboring countries the subsidized fertilizers meant to boost food production. The President adds some saboteurs have been at work to undermine the Planting for Food and Job program since it was launched, but the President says their plans will not work. So, you know how some of these attitudes have undermined government's good intentions over the years. So tell me, what measures do you suggest must be put in place by government to ensure people do not steal the subsidized fertilizers meant to boost food production?
This is not going to get to the people just like that. It's going to pass through heads, and the heads themselves must be checked. There must be people who are willing to speak the truth, and they must not be corrupt. In this case, I would agree that whoever tries to, smuggle any fertilizer and would want to do it at his or her own interest and not the interest of the people or whatever should be made to face the punishment. And I think at this point, the Special Prosecutor Bill must come to work.
He has to work with the local governments, the MCs, the DCs, the assemblymen, because they are in charge of those things, and you have to trust them. You have to set a security that will check up on them. It's like a check and balance, something that will check up on them and know that the fertilizers are going to where they are supposed to be.
Well, a lot more of your comments are on Facebook. Let's check them out. Israel.
Mr. Boateng says, in Ghana, problems are only politics and religion. When we're able to deal with these two, the country will not suffer again. Some of these problems are as a result of politicians allowing state institutions to function freely, or some of these problems as a result of politicians not allowing state institutions to function freely. Empower the institutions and charged to work devoid of politics and see if this nonsense will happen. Judicial Sudro says, I think the best way the government can do is to make proper checks and proper balance works effectively and efficiently to expose those bad nuts. And also, it shouldn't be partisan. Prince Nuruddin says it shouldn't be transparent. It should be transparent, non-partisan, and victims who are caught smuggling the subsidized fertilizers must be apprehended and then made to face the consequences of the law.
And Isaku Inusa says government should ensure that the program is not politicized and it should be bipartisan. Monitoring team should be constituted. Okay, a bipartisan monitoring team should be constituted to track the smugglers. Very interesting consultancy you're giving government for free. Now, finally, you know how we do it on Wednesdays, and it's all about Women Crush Wednesday. Oh yeah. The question I ask is, your mom your crush? If so, then tell me, what's the best advice she has ever given you and that has helped you throughout your life?
My mom has always been advising me to take my studies seriously, make sure I focus and not get distracted along the way, especially by friends.
The best advice my mom has given me is to fear God and also to be very careful about women, fear women too.
She's asked me to be the lady I want to be, the big woman I want to be someday, and not to look at people and don't listen to people.
The best advice which I took it so much into consideration, I remember when I was going to secondary school, somewhere in 2010, she told me, I was a quick-tempered person, she told me, going there, people have different kind of behaviors. So she advised me to make sure I endure whatever behavior anyone brings towards me. And
she asked me not to go out with any woman at all. But yes, I shouldn't focus on beauty, but the beauty within.
Well, the advice my mom gave to me, and it helped me throughout my life. She says, I should be careful of friends. And indeed, I think it's very, very true. But the last guy said what? why the mother said he shouldn't date any woman. Why was she married?
Probably he didn't put it right. Probably more like be careful of the woman you're dating.
Okay, so let's check out what you put it on
Akpalu
Facebook.
says, don't be too concerned about who's right. What is right is more important. Argue less, guard your tongue, keep the peace, you'll be blessed. And Nasser says that I should respect all, both old and young, and I should always be patient. A good advice is the second mother of a child. Nelson says, she said I should be careful, I shouldn't lie. Again, she told me that I must ask myself the question, would it praise or glorify God in whatever I do? And Eric Tekpete says, Mama used to tell me, son, be humble in all things. Hard work doesn't kill, it makes you. So be hardworking and be a good boy.
And Ibn Ali Duyal says, share the small you have with others. For all you know, God is testing to see whether you share if a given bigger one. Judicial Sudru Eric says, I remembered my mom told me not to stretch my hand on ladies, not even my wife, no matter how she offends me. Of course, that was a very good advice your mom gave you.